this is going to be a very different kind of presentation because I'm going to give you a lot of stuff, but I'm going to do it in a slower, more deliberate fashion because I tend to race. And if you just make sure you have a pen and a paper and just write down a couple of the URLs I'm going to give you, and we'll get going. I want to talk about the first thing I'm going to talk about is managing time. Managing your time, I'm talking about through 2021, what you should be doing each day, what you should be doing on days off. In other words, all of the things that a successful trader needs to do or should move toward, because in the end, the successful traders that I know, for instance, don't trade every day. And that may sound counterproductive to you, but I want to get into it. So let's get into it. The trader time system it's meant to maximize your trading success by balancing your trading preparation, trading focus, and free time. Okay, preparation, focus, and free time. And it's based on the entrepreneurial time system that was taught to me by a tremendous gentleman who teaches coaching, who coaches entrepreneurs. And I've worked so well in my business, and I've tickled it a little bit for trading, and it's worked so well when we coach people for trading. I'm going to give it to you right now, the concept of the entrepreneurial time system really made into the trader time system. And in honor of David, who apparently wants to make sure that you have this, somebody mentioned pulling the trigger without hesitation, one of the things that we cover in Mental Fitness for Traders. This is a 35-page ebook that's, I counted this morning, 409,627 copies have already been downloaded. It's free. I want you to have it. If you got to go now, I love you anyway. You can listen to the recording, but write this URL down. Okay, you don't even need the www. thedisciplinedtrader.com/MF4NT, which is short, of course, for Mental Fitness for Traders. And I'm going to just let you gaze at the word discipline, which many traders have told me I shouldn't have named my site with a hard word, difficult word to spell, but I went against them because discipline really is all there is when it comes to most solving of problems for traders, assuming that you have a trading plan that works at least fairly well. And most trading plans that I've seen work fairly well. The problem is you have trouble, and you can talk to yourself till you're blue in the face about being better at it, but I'm going to show you a couple of ways to conquer that. Okay. Okay, a little bit about me. I've been doing this 41 years. I know I don't even look 41 years old, but I am. I've written several books, of hundreds of papers, and these are the things I think are still on Amazon. How to design and construct an effective trading plan. And one of the criticism, even though it's a popular book, the criticism of this book is that it spends almost the first third of the book talking about knowing yourself and having a trading plan that works for you. This is the reason why you can learn from all kinds of gurus, and in the end, you don't have that same kind of success because you're not one with yourself when it comes to who you are as a trader. And I help you identify that in the book. In any event, More Profit Less, that's actually a video that was taken at one of the expos that I did, the trading expos. And he made a video out of it, and he still sells it. This is the inspirational quotes from the Disciplined Trader are just, I do something called 4-minute drills for traders every week for 4 years. I have over 200 of them, 4-minute drills. You can find them if you just Google 4-minute drill for traders, and you can find them haphazardly. In our course, which I'm going to show you a little bit later, you can, they're all there for you. You can just kind of pick a title. But I had somebody, an assistant, not just somebody, but a valued assistant, take a look through all of listen to the 200 4-minute drills and pick out quotes. And I think it's more of a coffee table or a bathroom book but it gets a lot of praise from the industry. So it is something else if you want to find out a little bit more about me. I worked for Payne Weber for a couple of years. They hired me as a commodity specialist to raise money, actually, for a big time commodity trader, of which who lost money, lost 15% in the first 6 months of trading the people's money, and then they wanted me to raise money for mutual funds. So I said, no, I'm going to be my own trader and not raise money for somebody else, because I was doing very well at the time. In any event, I also actually, before that, I should have put these in the right order. Before that, I ran one of the largest option firms in the country, and that's where Payne Weber picked me up from there. The Hallett Group is something I got a little egotistical in the 90s and named everything after myself, the Hallett Group and the Hallett Commodities. One is an IB, where I cleared my trades through. The other, it was a CTA, Commodity Trading Advisors, where I managed millions for rich people. And that went very well for a while, until I realized I need to do more for more people, because the issue with traders is not is usually not their trading plan. It's usually good enough. The issue is the mental and emotional issues. So the last 20 years, literally, I formed something called actually Subconscious Training Corporation, where we help traders turn their mental capacity around, literally, not capacity, but mental focus around from fear to confidence. And we do that through our subconscious trainings, and AKA the disciplined trader. So let's get into the 3 types of days that a trader should be forming their week around, or their month or their year around. There are 3 types of days. The first day is a focus day. This is a day where you trade and you're there to make money. One of the people we coach yesterday mentioned, or the day before yesterday, mentioned that one of the main things that they got out of one of their favorite sessions, mental training sessions that we use, was something called trading to make money. We're here as a trader. There's nothing wrong with focusing on making money. You have to focus on your trading plan and following your trading plan, and the money follows. I mean, we all get that, right? We're not, but we also understand that we need to focus on our trading plan and focus on when to take a trade according to the plan, when to pull the trigger, and when to and follow our trading plan to get out, which could be the most important part. Okay, so the idea is that on focus days, you're doing nothing but trading. You're not changing your trading plan. You're not planning for vacations. You're doing one thing, and that's trading. And that's trading to make money. And there are many of you out there that may only be trading an hour a day or 2 hours a day. That's okay. Then it's those focus hours where you're not, when you're waiting for a trade to develop, sometimes you get distracted. You turn on the TV and you want to see what Kramer's saying. These are the wrong things to do. You want to continue to focus on your trade and what you're doing on focus days, okay? Then there are buffer days. Buffer days are days where you're planning. You're either planning for focus days, or you're planning for free days, okay? In other words, let me get to free days first, next. And I put one on one because they're all very important. There's no special order here. A free day is a day where you do nothing as far as trading is concerned. You don't look at charts. You don't listen to anything about the news about trading. I mean, maybe you want to listen to a little bit of Fox or CNN, whatever you watch, but generally when it talks about something about trading, no CNBC, it's a free day, and you really shouldn't be doing any of those other things. You should be spending time with your significant other, gardening, taking trips. They're free days. They're days to enjoy. It's the days that you don't make room for now because you're too busy doing other things and you can't find time. You need to have free days. Now, I mentioned before Dan Sullivan. Dan Sullivan talks about, with us as entrepreneurs, our goal is to have 150 free days a year as an entrepreneur. And you as a trader are an entrepreneur. Now, if you think about it, if you take Friday and Saturday and Sunday off, you already have 104 days that are free. So you need to add some other days during the week. One more day during the week will get you there. So the idea is that free days are just as important as the other days. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that. And buffer days are days where you're planning for trips, or you're planning, or you're working on your trading plan, or you're analyzing past trades, et cetera, et cetera. So buffer days are planning days. Focus days are action days. Free days are you don't do a damn thing days when it comes about trading. Okay, so they're not to be mixed. All right, focus days, more specifically, focus on trading only. Execute your trading plan, period. Okay, execute your trading plan, period. Mental vitamins, pump up your focus, patience, consistency. Now I'm going to show you something that I think you're going to want to take advantage of. We have mental trainings. There's 7-minute mental trainings that you close your eyes, the meditations, you take them before they're like mental vitamins. You take them before you start trading, okay? And now you can try to create your own. I mean, we've done this. We know exactly the kind of suggestions that you need to put in your mind during those meditations. So they're 7-minute to 10-minute quick guided meditations that you just sit there before you start trading and you get focused. I call it pumping, but it's probably not the right word. It's really you focus, you eliminate everything else, and you focus on patience, consistency, or focus, or pulling the trigger without hesitation. There's a specific meditation for that. So whatever you've analyzed, I'm going to show you how to analyze in a second. Whatever you've analyzed to be your issue, this is the meditation that you take to make sure that you focus on making sure you've got that in place for this trading session. Okay, so everything that you do gives you focus for your trading on a focus day. Okay, and journaling before and after trading, maintain on key trading strengths. I'm going to tell you what that means in a second, but before I do, I want to ask you. I'm going to go to the chat right here, and I'm going to ask you: tell me the truth? Are you journaling? Just give me yes, no, kind of, maybe, I wish I did more. Tell me something about your experience journaling. Are you doing anything at all as far as recording from a mental and emotional standpoint your progress as a trader? Okay, when it comes to mental and emotional management. Thank you for being honest, Techno. Okay. All right, we're seeing a lot of those. I really like the honesty, because I'm going to give you something here that will no longer excuse you. The next time we talk and the next time I have a presentation, you're going to be saying yes to me on this. And it's only going to take you about 3 or 4 minutes a day. How do I know this? Because this is the exact way that I journal, because I can't sit there for an hour and talk about myself in writing. I have to, I'm a guy that was looking to get to the next trade. I want to get started. I'm a type A person, and I have to have a journaling method that doesn't take a long time. So I have developed something that has worked for hundreds, if not thousands of traders, so that you can go from no to yes. And I'm going to give it to you right now. Okay. Here it is. This is my journaling for 4 minutes a day. And it's not even 4 minutes at one time. It's 3 minutes at the end of the day. And it's 1 minute before you start trading. So I do my meditation, and I still do it. I do my own meditations. It's not, and I'm not because I like to listen to myself. It's actually my wife, who is a subconscious trainer at the Disciplined Trader. It's her voice, so I can listen to her all day. And it's her voice instructing me on how to be a better trader, okay, from a mental and emotional standpoint. So I do that 7 minutes, and then I take 1 minute and I do my 1 minute of trading, of journaling. And then at the end of the day, I do the other 3 minutes of journaling. I'm going to show you the 3 minutes first, okay? Here's what you do at the end of the trading day. You ask yourself, what did I do right? Okay, what did I do right? I don't know if some of you may have remembered the book 1 Minute Manager. And when I was managing the largest option firm in the country, I had traders that were all over the place. And so I instituted something called 1 Minute Manager, where they would come into my office And I would say to them, and if they weren't making the calls or doing the work or following their plan, I would tell them, I would give them a compliment. You know, you came here and, you know, you've shown a lot of, we've been encouraged on a lot of the things that you do. Then I would tell them something that happened that they need correction. And then I would end with some support statement. I have taken that 1 minute manager concept and I've delivered it to myself, and now I'm delivering it to you. It really, really works. Journaling is not about beating up yourself, and it's not about being nice to yourself. It's about identifying the issues and then taking care of those issues in a positive way. Okay, so the first question that you ask yourself is, what did I do right? Now, for example, I would write, and writing is important, and I'll tell you why a little bit later about building neural pathways. Right, and that's the reason why journaling is so important. Okay, what did I do right? In today's trading, I took every trade that my trading plan told me to take without hesitation. And so that's the compliment that I gave myself. What did I do right? And if you didn't do anything right, I sat at my trading desk and I decided to trade. That's good enough. I started, you know, I showed up today. I don't care what it is. Find something that you did right, because, you know, they say that showing up is half the battle. I'm not sure that's true. You got to do it right when you're there. But hey, if that's all you got, that's all you got. But in your trading day, you're going to find something that you did right. In today's trading, I took every trade that my trading plan told me to take without hesitation. Okay. Now, the next thing that you do is identify, where did I go wrong? And you're not branding yourself here. You're identifying something that is not like you. Okay. Now, it may be like you in your past interpretations of yourself, but where you're heading, it's no longer like you. Okay. You're heading to be a disciplined trader that doesn't make mistakes and doesn't include emotion in their trading while they're trading in the trading day. Okay. So here's the way that I couch my wrongdoing. Okay. However, I did something unnormal, or I say I was beside myself, or I say that's unlike me. Those are the three terms I generally use. So today I did something that I was beside myself, or today I did something that's unlike me, or today I did something unnormal. Use your own name, please. I moved my stop because I was afraid of being hit when I heard Jim Cramer say something on CNBC and took an unnecessary loss. Okay, so what I did here was I've identified the loss. I've taken responsibility for the loss, but I've also said it's not like me. I've stated what that problem was. Okay, the problem in my trading that was mental and emotional, and I told you why I took it. And it doesn't mean that you need to blame somebody all the time. It sounds like I'm blaming Jim Cramer, but hey, if I didn't do that, if I didn't listen to CNBC, or if I didn't, have a thought about somebody that told me something that I wanted to try, and so I tried it and it's off my trading plan, whatever it is, you're not blaming yourself. What you're doing is taking responsibility. You're identifying the situation that you want to reverse, and you're giving the reason why you happen to have done it that day. Okay, so however, I did something unnormal. I moved my stop because I was afraid of being hit when I heard Jim Cramer say something on CNBC and took an unnecessary loss. And then the statement of correction and commitment follows. Tomorrow, I will be the stop king. And I usually give myself a name, superhero type thing. I have fun with journaling, and you should too. But you want to get serious with what you're stating. Tomorrow, I will be stop king. I will place my stops and adjust my stops only according to my trading plan. Okay, so I started with something positive. I took responsibility for a mistake that I made. I identified what that mistake was, and I told you the reason why. I told myself the reason why I made the mistake. Then I committed to reversing that mistake by stating that tomorrow I will be the stop king, and I will place my stop and adjust my stops only according to my trading plan. And then I always end with this, because I'm constantly feeding my mind with this positive statement. I am a wise and disciplined trader, and I do the things that a wise and disciplined trader does. I am a wise and disciplined trader, and I do the things that a wise and disciplined trader does. I put my stamp at the end of my journaling okay, to say to myself, I'm wise. Yes, I made a mistake. It's not like me. I told you why. I've made a commitment for tomorrow. This is what wise and disciplined traders do. Okay. And I do the things that are wise and disciplined. If you just do what I've just asked you to do, this exercise is worth anything, is worth probably more than anything I'm going to say that you'll hear today. Now, I'm not going by any speaker, and I'm not saying you're not going to hear some great speakers, but I'm saying that I've been doing this 40 years and focusing just on the mental and emotional challenges for the last 20. And I'm saying that this process, this concept, okay, is responsible for more testimonials and thank yous, and you've changed my life, than any other process that I've given. So please, look at this. This is the closing statement. Here is it in total. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, take it. All right. Journaling 4 minutes a day. This is the 3 minutes at the end of the day. In today's trading, I took every trade that my trading plan told me to take without hesitation. I complimented myself. However, I did something unnormal-like. I moved my stop because I was afraid of being hit when I heard Jim Cramer say something on CNBC and took an unnecessary loss. So I took responsibility. I told you what I did. I told you why I did it. And tomorrow I will be stop king. I will place my stops and adjust my trading plan according to my trading plan. So I'm making a commitment and correction for tomorrow. And I'm stamping the fact that I'm a wise and disciplined trader, and I do the things that a wise and disciplined trader does. I could end this right here. I was going to say I probably should, but I got more. Because this is the, I'm not going to say anymore, do this, please. Okay. Now, the next morning, here's the 1 minute. You're restating the commitment that you made the previous afternoon. So I open my trade. What I do is I do my 7-minute meditation with my wise voice. And then I open my journal. And I always have a cool journal. I got one from Egypt one time with fish skins. It was made from, I went through that pretty quickly, but I love to give respect to my journals. In fact, we have a leather-bound journal that I give as prizes, and I may give one to you at the end here. Today, I am the stop king. In fact, I'm the stop king. Today, I'm the stop king. I place my stops and adjust my stops according to my trading plan. So what I've done is I've restated that connection, that correction from the day before. Today I'm stop king. I place my stops and adjust my stops only according to my trading plan. And then I give it a stamp again. I'm a wise and disciplined trader, and I do the things that a wise and disciplined trader does. Do this in the beginning of your day so that you're not making the same mistake you made yesterday, and you're stamping the fact that you're a wise and disciplined trader and you know what the heck you're doing. Okay. And you will know what the heck you're doing because you're a wise and disciplined. If you believe, they say that what you believe and perceive becomes you, and it is very, very true. And that's what our meditations are really do for traders. Okay, let's get back into the days. I hope let me just take a quick shout out here. Did you get that? Are we good with what I've just told you? Non-emotional, just this transaction. Did you like that? I mean, is it something that you want to commit to? Will you please just commit right here? Say, I will do it. If you're one of those people that said no, just say, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it starting today. You're going to fall in love with it because it doesn't take any time and it works. That's the kind of stuff I like. Don't waste my time. Just tell me what works. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Here we go. The buffer days. Trading education. Now, remember, I said that the buffer days are here to prepare and to feed the focus days and the free days. So this is where you think about, you don't change your trading plan in the middle of a trading day. You do it, maybe you stop trading and then you will go to the next day is a buffer day. So you're trading, your trading education, trading plan review, trading plan adjustments if necessary. Train your mind to shore up the mental strengths in the 5 key competencies. And amazing that somebody would say, pull the focus and strength to pull the trigger is really in our core elements, the first thing that we hit, strength to pull the trigger. Although the most, the 7-minute session that we get the most comment on of reversal from struggle to success is patience. patience to wait for the setup, patience to those kinds of things. So patience in trading is really tremendous. I'm going to go through that in a second. But overcoming losses, overcoming fear and greed. We've got core competencies and we focus on that. So what you want to do is train your mind to shore up those mental strengths. These are all things I do them on every day, but I do them every day, whether I'm doing a focus, but you can't eliminate them on buffer days. It's important to continue your trading and your preparation because you need repetition in order to make that happen. I'm going to explain a little bit about that. Forum participate, if you're on forums and talk to other people about trades, do it on a buffer day. Don't do it on a free day. And God damn it, don't do it on a focus day. Okay, clean up messes. You're trading, look through your trading journal. Okay, buy a new trading, go online and look for a nice new one. I have all kinds of different ones. Technical issues that you have that you've noticed in your trading. If you want to try a new charting program, do it on the buffer day. Okay, and I use it for long-term trends and cycles. I'm real big. One of the guys I love in the industry is a guy named Jake Bernstein. If you don't love him, learn to love him. He's a master at cycles and seasonals, and I log into his site and I look around for some of the stuff that he's doing as far as cycles and trends, because that gives me, I'm more of a day trader. I'm out by the end of the day, but it gives me something to focus on. If I know a trend is coming, I'm looking to maybe adjust my the number of positions I'm trading and so on. So I do that on buffer days, and so should you. I don't take a break on focus days and look for other things to do. I'm focusing on running my trading plan. Buffer days are for planning. Narrow down potential 3 or 4 markets and stocks. So again, I may look at a cycle charts or long-term charts, and then I narrow it down to 3 or 4 markets that I want to concentrate on or trade in stocks, etc., on focus days. And one of the things that I've been doing lately are pot stocks, and lately for the last 3 years, pot stocks and Bitcoin type stocks and biotech stocks. And so I do my homework on buffer days, and then I narrow it down to which stocks I want to trade on focus days. Okay, so enough about it's about planning for the free days and the focus days where you're trading. No trading on free days. I know that's tough. No email. No, I don't even look at emails on free days. And that's something that took me a year to, and don't let it take you a year. It's the best thing that I do and it's amazing how you can get through emails, even if you get as many as I do, you can get through them in a half hour. Most of them are junk. And I've really learned to, unsubscribe from some of the things I think I'm interested in and I never read. Okay, no education. You're not looking at charts. You're not trading. You're not reading trading books. You're not looking at articles. It's a total disconnect from trading. Do your gardening, be yourself, because what happens on free days, and this is why it's just as important as the other days, these are the days that ideas bubble up. These are the days where the truths about you come to the surface, where the strengths about you become pop into your mind, where the good stuff happens. Okay, this is why when in the course that I took for 4 or 5 years with Dan Sullivan, we paid $20,000 a year to sit in a room 4 times a year with Dan Sullivan. There were 49 other people. I don't know if you're like me, if you're an engineer like me or was an engineer, but when I look at a room of 50 people and I know they all pay $20,000, I'm doing the math. I go to a baseball game and I'm counting the number of seats and counting how much money they make. It's just I can't help it. So disconnect from trading. Do your little games in your head, but I'm saying to you that you need to disconnect, and that's why he made us fly in 4 days a year to Toronto, and we flew into Toronto. We sit there, no phones. You leave your phone outside. And we disconnected, and that's when our big ideas about how to help our business, and for me on my business and my trading, came up in my head. Okay, and so I'm saying to you, try it. You need at least 2 free days a week, and it's really good to try to have 1 or 2 days during the week where you have your free day or buffer days. You'll enhance your creativity and ability to create results. Okay, as far as where you spread out these focus days and buffer days and free days, it's a good balance to have 3, 2, and 2 in a general life. I mean, this is where I've arrived at in my trading. I have 3 days of focus, 2 days of buffer, and 2 free days. This is one because I'm really still in the expansion version of my business. Somehow I'm in that again, and I really love it because when you have a series of successes, you want to spread more. And I think all of you at least have a part of you that's a giver, and I'm sure a lot of you have a large part of you. But as you get older, you realize that giving is more important than getting. And so I really, building and trying to get more. Enough about me. That's where I'm going. So me, this is a good combination that I'm at. I trade 3 days a week. Okay, I trade Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I leave Thursday and Friday for things like this. Okay, buffer days where I'm planning, I'm presenting, I'm doing some things, but it's not about trading. Okay, free days, and my 2 weekends are my free days. Now, sometimes I will take one of those buffer days and make it a free day. So I will, and then sometimes they're not the same. I never trade on Friday, just a thing with me because I like long weekends when I can have them. But it's not that Friday is not a good day to trade, because that's a rumor that I wish you wouldn't believe, because it's not true. Some of the best days can be Fridays. Okay, in anticipation of a report on Monday. Believe me, they're not bad days to trade. It's just a choice. So 3, 2, 2 is a good balance for the way I run it. Okay, 4, 2, and 1 is somebody who's really just getting excited about the active type trader. I really don't like the idea of only having 1 free day, but that's what happens when you're a type A. I lived very well on this kind of a system years ago, and did very well when I first adopted this playground. But I learned to switch out those buffer days and free days to make it 4, 1, and 2. Okay, position traders where you're only trading a couple of days a week, 2, 2, and 3. You want some free days, or 1, 3, and 3. I mean, you get my point here. Okay, you get my point. You need at least a couple of free days if you're a very active trader. I say one day here, but I'm going to erase that, I think, for my next presentation, because I can't tell you the value of doing nothing. I cannot tell you the value of doing nothing. Believe me, you've got a lot in your head that's dying to come out, a lot of that genius, and it's only going to come out on free days. Okay, so this is the positioning. Now I want to show you some assets, and I want to show you whether you either take the assets from me or not. I want to show you some of the things that you can grab. I want to give you the support that you need. Okay, this is, if you go to the disciplinedtrader.com, and I'm going to go there with you in a second. If you go to the disciplinedtrader.com and you click on change, you're going to see the Disciplined Trader Mastery Program, and I'm going to show you the elements of it that you can take advantage of with us at a very, very, very reasonable, crazy low kind of price, and that we've been doing it for years and lowering it for years, because the more people we have, the more we can come down in price. And I think you're going to be very surprised if you've never, I see there are people on it right now that are on this call, so you know how effective this is. But the disciplinedtrader.com, if you click on the word change, and let's take you there right now. Let's make it a new share. Well, I think what I can do is just do this. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take you to another screen. Let's do this. Okay, here's what's going to happen if you click on the disciplinedtrader.com. You're going to come here. This is our new site, and I think we try to be creative, but listen, let's get to the bottom line here. And what I want you to do, the first thing that you may want to do is go ahead and take advantage down here of the discipline trade of the 4-minute drills for traders. I deliver one in your inbox once a week. They're 4 minutes of me coming at you with excitement and a lesson about being a better trader. And there's 200 different topics that I hit. Now, you got to repeat some of those topics, but I hit stuff from a different angle. Things like, stopping trading for the day, not pulling the trigger, pulling the trigger instead of not pulling the trigger when you get the signal from your trading plan. But if you want to receive the free weekly, just put your name and email address in here. But this is what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to scroll down just a little bit. I won't show you the whole site, but you can take a look. It's a very simple site. But I want you to click on change, okay? And I want you to go here, because this is where you're going to have a chance to be part of the Disciplined Trader Mastery Program. I'm going to take you inside in a second, and then I want to show you a couple of things, and I want to explain how the brain works also inside. But for the sake of not making you dizzy, you're going to come down to these are all testimonials, and I have, I guess, probably 1,000 of them by now, but I've tried to give as many as I can to convince you that you can do this, okay? And you can be a member of the Disciplined Trader Mastery Program. We're going to show you the elements in a second, but I'm going to show you the price first. You can either go the expensive way, the more expensive way, and go $67 a month, which is half of what we used to charge. They all come with 14-day free trial. So if you think this is something that you may be for you, controlling and managing your mental and emotional capacities, then probably better to pick, the $43 a month or the $33 a month by taking the 6 month. I mean, the cash register is not going to ring until the 14 days are up. So, you just send me an email and tell me you're out, and you can cancel at any time, even if you're in it. Okay. So here are your three choices, so go to the Disciplined Trader and get to that. But here's what's happening inside of the Disciplined Trader Mastery Program. I usually don't spend this time, but I really think it's important because I made an effort recently to get some of our people that use our simple trading plans to be conscious of what our mainstay is, and that's the mental and emotional issues of traders. And they cannot believe all of the stuff that's in here, because we keep adding this. This was originally a 12 CD thing that we sold for $2,000, 1997, and we sold hundreds of, a couple of thousand of them, I guess, over the 4 or 5 years that we were selling them as CDs. But of course, CDs are passés, and so we put all the stuff in digital form, and here it is, and we just keep adding to it. I want to get the basic series is really just something we added in later years because we were getting people disciplined to run trading plans that were horrible, and so we were getting them disciplined to lose. Instead, they needed to know the basics of what a good trading plan was. Building and running your trading plan, employing risk and money management, introductory to the basic series. And this is really, and trading as a business. So you need to, these are journaling tips. This is a whole area on journaling. This is a whole area on framing your trading as a business. These are all 60-minute presentations or longer, building a trading plan, risk and money management. But if you have a trading plan already that you believe it will work for you, then you can really actually skip this area. I mean, it's good to review, but you may want to go straight to the core modules, because here's where the magic is. This is the stuff that we are known for. This is the stuff that can't be duplicated by anybody else. And this is why we are the standard bearer in helping traders move from undisciplined to disciplined. It's right here, the subconscious trainings. And somebody's talked about pulling the trigger without hesitation. This is it right here. It's actually in module 1. There are 6 modules. The first one is strength to pull the trigger. The second one is overcoming thoughts of fear and greed. These are the two things. Greed could be worse than fear. Fear keeps you out of trade. Greed keeps you over trading, running, chasing trades, all those kinds of things. Thoughts of fear and greed need to be controlled and managed, okay? Trading to make money mindset. This is the one I mentioned before. This is where the rubber hits the road. And I really want to remind you, this reminds you you're there to make money, darn it. So follow your trading plan, and it puts those ideas in your head in a very calm and thoughtful way. Strength to take your losses. If you don't have the relationship that losses are part of the overall winning strategy, then strength to take your losses is something that you need to deal with. We have others actually in a different section for traders, but here's a guy, Ray Burrows. We have other things in each of the. I'm only showing one thing in the core modules, but we also have other things that support the idea, in this case, of strength to take a loss. But we also introduce you to other things that are coming up in the course. And this is Ray Burrows, is a guy that last time I checked, he was trading $3 billion in Singapore. This guy journals 1 hour a day. Now, I just showed you something for 4 minutes. I can't do it. But this interview that I had with Ray Burrows really will solidify your commitment to at least do some sort of journaling. Okay, exercising patience, I talked about that, and sustaining discipline, which is really a combination meditation for all the other 5 meditations. But look, strength to pull the trigger. Here's what it is. These are 7-minute meditations. You can bang your head against the wall all day long, and you're not going to change. Okay, you can tell yourself, today I'm not going to move my stop around, but generally it's not going to work. It's not going to, if it works for a day, that's about all it's going to work for. And if you don't remind yourself the next day of that, and then remind yourself of something else that you need to work with, it's not going to work. Okay, what you need to do is change your mindset. And the only way to change your mindset is not to tell yourself consciously or doing conscious exercises. It's doing things subconsciously. Now, the reason why the gentleman who mentioned that they need to learn to have the strength to pull the trigger better is because when your trading plan, right now, when your trading plan gives you the signal to take the trade, your response is something other than take it right now. What it is, well, hold it a second. I just lost a couple of trades before, or maybe I should wait until further confirmation. You're being dominated. Your decision making is being dominated by a neural net, that holds what is true for you when it comes to that stimulus. The stimulus being your trading plan telling you to take the trade. If the stimulus is telling you to take the trade and you're responding in a way other than taking the trade, then you know that the neural net that you're following, which is the response to the stimulus, is something other than what it should be, which is take the trade immediately. And the reason it does that is because in the past, you have submitted to your subconscious mind thoughts and ideas that do not serve you in that instance. Okay, you may have lost a couple of trades and you've said to yourself, gosh, I really should be more careful the next trade. Well, that thought is a neural pathway. It has energy behind it. And, I'm talking about a measurable neuron, that neural pathway that's created that says to your mind, I should wait to take a trade. I should be more careful. Okay, and then another thing happens. You're sitting there having coffee before you trade, and you say, "Boy, I hope I don't have losing trades. I really should be more careful." That is, maybe I should be more careful. Your mind doesn't it takes everything as the truth. You're feeding your mind with these neural pathways that are not serving you, and when you create enough neural pathways, it becomes a neural net, which is your response to the stimulus. And if you are not taking the trade when the stimulus is telling you to take the trade, then your neural net is filled with suggestions that are causing hesitation rather than conviction. How do you fix it? The way you fix it is feeding your mind with the neural pathways that work for you. And that's what we've designed in these 7 to 10 minute meditations. And here's the 7-minute, and here's what they look like. You press the button, and now, of course, you're going to, this is just you could focus on anything. It doesn't have to be this, but you're closing your eyes after about 30 seconds, but you need to focus, and then you close your eyes, and actually this meditation is about 10 minutes and 31 seconds long. So in this meditation, it's feeding you things like, it's feeding you suggestions like, when a successful trader I am a successful trader. When my trading plan gives me a signal to take a trade, I do not hesitate and I act immediately. I understand that following my trading plan is the most important tool that I have to be a successful trader, and I am a successful trader that does the things that are necessary to be successful. This is one. These are not the exact, but there's something like it. And I've done so many of them that I remember some of them. So the idea here is that you're feeding your mind with the mental and emotional statements that work for you to have the right to build the right neural net, so that when you get the stimulus, you're pulling the trigger without hesitation. How long does it take? If you do this 10-minute and 31-second meditation every day for maximum 10 days, but usually it's about 5 or 6 or 7 days. That's all. No other thing needed. You don't need to concentrate or read books on it. You're feeding your mind and creating neural pathways for this event that will help to build a new neural pathway. When that new neural pathway is bigger and more productive than the other neural pathway, it's like a muscle that will atrophy. The one that's not working for you will get smaller and smaller and less effective. The new neural pathway that you build, that you continue to strengthen. I take one of these every time before I start trading, and sometimes on the weekend when I'm doing nothing, I'll sit here and trade and take one, because even though I don't have the problem, because I know the more neural pathways I build, the stronger my neural net will be. This is how you change behavior. Not reading books, not assessing yourself, not thinking about yourself, not talking to other people, not not affirmations, even though we give you affirmations here. Affirmations only support the subconscious training. I think anybody that makes a mistake with I've seen people make a mistake by not doing the subconscious trainings, but they take the affirmations, which are just statements that you can download and put in your phone or whatever and listen to your car. There's similar suggestions to here, but you're not in an alpha brainwave state. By relaxing, taking some deep breaths and putting yourself in an alpha brainwave state, these suggestions that you're taking during this 10 minutes and 31 seconds are submitted to your subconscious mind, creating the neural net that will eventually, in 7, 8, 6, 5, depending on how focused you are in your, if you've never done these kinds of meditation before, maybe it'll take you 8 or 9 or 10. Maybe 12 if you got a hard head. But at some point, you're going to have that neural path, and all of a sudden you won't even be thinking about the fact that you don't have the strength to pull the trigger. You're doing it, and that's how you know it's working. And then you really start to do it and say, I really want to solidify this. So you put in your head the things that work, that you know are going to work for you. Okay, so strength to pull the trigger is one of them. And I mentioned the other ones: overcoming thoughts of fear and greed. So, and patience, people, that's the one we get the comments mostly on. Not only are you building a neural pathway or neural net for in case of, say, patience, but it can kind of leak into other areas of your life. We have traders saying that, this has been great. I've been real patient. We're waiting. I used to try to anticipate the crossing of a couple of moving averages. Instead, I'm now waiting impatiently, and I'm avoiding trades that I shouldn't. I used to hop into and get hurt. So, and somehow try to make right because I was an idiot. Now I got patience. It's been beautiful. Not only that, but I'm more patient with my wife. I'm a better listener. My dog, my kids. It's all good stuff. Anything that you get from this site is good stuff. And I'm going to show you some other good stuff. I've got about 5 minutes, and I really want to show you some of the other stuff. There are bonus materials, and there's a lot of bonus materials. In case you didn't like what I showed you, there's probably 20 different things. We had them all the time. 97 real world journaling examples. If you're somebody that likes to journal your trades, I like to look at my daily runs and my monthly runs. That gives me I can tell what I did. I remember every trade when I look at my monthly. You probably do too. But some like to put in a spreadsheet, some like to type it out, some like to. I asked the people who are on this program, the Disciplined Trader Mastery Program, several years ago, about 5 years ago, I asked them, tell me how you journal. I know I'm not the only one journaling, and I know I'm not the only one that has a comfortable. Well, there are I chose 97 different ways of journaling, and it's an 103-page report. You will get, not only will you get a kick out of it, but you'll find something that really hits you if mine didn't hit you. There was a question in the last, there's a trader's quiz. The last presenter, I noticed a question she wasn't able to get to about how can you assess yourself. We have a trader's quiz that you can keep taking and kind of get a better feel of where you need to work on and taking those subconscious trainings and so on, some of the other assets that we have. But here's the trader time system. It's this presentation I'm giving you was right here in its original form. I've modified it over the years, but here it is over the original form, probably done. Look at this, 8 years ago. So again, I'm constantly adding to this. Okay. And this is a more recent one, subconscious training grouping this is groupings. I've noticed that certain people have, I've grouped some of the subconscious trainings, like take the patience one and the one on fear and overcoming fear and greed. That's for this type of person and that type of person. So we've done a lot of work with being specifically for you. Let's look at some of the other, and I want to show you the lifestyle section. But before I do, I'll show you this. This is the 4-minute. I mentioned the 4-minute drills. These are the 4-minute drills. And I guess I did 200. I've done 203, and I add to them every once in a while. I haven't done one in several months. But why personalize a trading plan? Trading discipline reaches a new level. New and seasoned traders avoid this trap. The naked truth about trading. Am I doing more harm than good? Acres of Diamonds, if you ever never read that. What you think is what you get in trading. So I hit certain things, not only all the subjects that we've talked about pulling the trigger and so on. These are 4-minute drills that are just me delivering it to you in a powerful, excited way. And this is where I hit the map on these 4-minute drills. So you've got all 200 of them at your access without searching the web for them. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. And the last thing I want to show you is the lifestyle section, because when you turn your mind, when you turn, I'll leave here on better sex here. When you turn your thinking around, when you turn your responses around to stimulus, when you're pulling the trigger without hesitation, when you're being patient because you've taken these meditations, you say to yourself, our students have said, do you have any other things that we can work on for other parts of our life? It so happens that before I got into specifically helping traders, we were helping everybody with their mental and emotional issues, like golfers and tennis players and students and salespeople. And we had softwares with these same kinds of mental trainings on them, these same kinds of meditations for each of these efforts. And I've dumped them all on here for you. So we've even added things like better sex, but business skills. If you may be a part-time trader, these can help you too. Effective public speaking. A lot of people have an issue with that. Be decisive in business. Okay, golf. We were famous for our Golf Mind software. Here are the foremost. These are the 4 sessions we got the most comments on when we sold these as a software. Believing in yourself, building a positive putting attitude, etc. We've actually had 20 total sessions in this. Personal improvement, letting go of anxiety, stop the nail biting. These 2 sessions, self-esteem A and B, we get a lot of comments on that. Attracting a loving partner. I mean, I know this may all sound airy-fairy to you, but what you put into your head means that this is what you put out in the world, and this is what you deliver to the world. It comes back to you. I'm not going to say anything more about that. Sales, we still sell Sales Mind software in a digital form, but it's exclusively with one large distribution firm. And these are some of the sessions that that are offered there that you get here. Stop smoking. If you're still smoking, hey, come on, take these sessions. Students, owners of our course, they take they have kids that they have children who enhance their memories. They take these because these are PG. Okay, these meditations. Incredible concentration, enhanced memory. This was a big one for kids. Superior study habits. Okay, if you're a tennis player, Think and Grow Rich. I love that book, so we made some on that. Here's some additional ones for traders that we didn't include in the core. Visualizing success, maintaining discipline, letting go of negative thoughts. We've got it all. Okay, my time's about up, but I wanted to make sure that you understood that we were here for you in all, and we know how to change your mindset in a very simple way. I hope I've demonstrated some of that to you today. So remember to go to thedisciplinetrader.com, okay, and click on change and get excited about joining the Discipline Trader Mastery Program. Love to have you, love to help you change. And I love David for putting this all together. So thank you so much, David, for having me.